Hi everyone, I'm sure many developers out there, including you, will need Linux on your Windows PC, and there is a way to include Linux installation on your Windows. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to use Linux as a subsystem on your Windows, means that you'll practically have Linux with no GUI on your Windows. So this is actually already built in on Windows, so I'll just show you how to activate that. So first, you need to turn Windows features on or off. So this actually works the same on Windows 10 and 11. So you go access that, scroll down a little bit, you will find Windows Subsystem for Linux. You click on that, press OK, and then it will actually install the files required for that. Okay, next is you need to restart the PC. Now we have restarted our PC, and just now during the restart, you will see something like a Windows Update notification that updates is on the way. So I could not record that part because it's outside of Windows already. And then the next step will be to access command prompt. And then on command prompt, you're going to type WSL, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux. It's actually prompting you to install Windows Subsystem for Linux. You just press any key to continue. Now it is downloading that. Again, it's actually similar for Windows 10. Okay, you're going to wait a while. Now the process is done. You're going to type WSL again. Okay, now it will say that there's no Linux distribution has been installed. So there are two ways to install Linux distribution. So you can go to Microsoft Store and you can search for Ubuntu, for example, or you can actually do it via command prompt as well. But I'll just show you this one. So you might choose from different versions of Ubuntu here, either the long-term support or the normal one. I'll just click randomly on that, so you can change it if you want to. Once you are done, when you press open, you will see this error, and this is because we haven't restarted our computer. So let's do that again. Okay, so I have restarted my computer. Next is to run the Ubuntu again. You can find it on Start menu already because it's installed as an app. So now it will say installing instead of the error that we see before. Now on Windows 11, you might notice that it's opening a window like this one. As I remember correctly, it does not happen on Windows 10, or maybe this is the new version. It will ask you to enter Unix username. You can put it whatever you want. I'll just name it user and with password user. Installation is successful. Now, this is our WSL. Next time you want to access it, you can actually go back and on the command prompt, you can type WSL and you are coming back to the Linux. And one more thing to mention is that when you do this for the first time after you reboot your computer, actually the Windows Subsystem for Linux, or the Ubuntu just now, is hogging up the memory. So you see here on the task manager, it's actually holding about 1 GB of RAM. So how do you exit from the Windows Subsystem for Linux is you type exit and then just type WSL -- shutdown. So it's actually now gone from the RAM. Next time, let's say you restart your computer or you haven't opened the WSL, just go back to the command prompt, and then here you can type again WSL. And because in this case, I only installed one Linux distribution, which is the Ubuntu, it will automatically recognize the Ubuntu. We are here on the Ubuntu, and you can do Linux commands, and it is actually using the Windows drives directly. So if, for example, you are doing ls to list the file names, you are actually accessing the files on Windows. Let's say we are going to documents. So here I'm going to create a file by using some Linux commands like cat hello world and then test.txt. Sorry, I don't mean cat but echo. So what will happen is you are creating the file text.txt under the Windows drives. So in my case just now, I created it under documents. So it is just creating a normal text file on Windows. So means you have a built-in Ubuntu, but the drives that it is accessing and all the resources like the RAMs and CPU that it actually takes is from the Windows. So it is sharing all the resources with Windows. So this is especially useful if you want to install Linux apps, for example, Docker, which is very popular option on Linux. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.